Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to 9.1.3, path number 2, can't touch this path. The nodes here are going to be can't touch this, reach within, shadow boxing, alternate charge, and X striker. The defenders are going to be Shang Chi, Human Torch, Doctor Strange, Elsa Bloodstone, Silk, and Chee'ilth. And the boss we're going to attempt is going to be Galan. Now there are two ways to play this path. One is that you bring in slower anti-weight champions, or the second one is you bring mutants and relics and try to nuke the path down. In my opinion, the best options here, the top options are going to be your Shang Chi, Kate Bishop, Professor X, and Archangel. Boost and masteries, you will really need to boost for this path because this is the worst part in 9.1. So this is going to take a lot of concentration and maybe a little bit of frustration as well. The boss island is going to be your Sauron, Galan, and Overseer. So let's jump into the part and check it out. The first fight is going to be against a Shang Chi. Now, as I explained before, there are two ways to do this path. One is going to bring anti-weight champions. The other one is to bring in mutant champions. I'll show you both ways and you decide which one you have with the champions, but if I had a choice, I would go with anti-weight champions. Is way faster and makes the path easier as well. So the only way you gain power here is when you whiff your attacks with shadow boxing. Every time you whiff one attack, you get 30% bar of power. So I'm using a Kate Bishop here. The play here is that I started off with my whole snap pre-fight and I'm trying to build up to almost 2 bars of power with just whiffing my attacks in the beginning. It's easy to gain power, so just here I'm also whiffing my attacks to gain power, and as soon as Shang-Chi comes in with a medium attack, I am using my SP1 so I can apply that cold snap. Once the cold snap is applied, I don't need to worry about can't touch this node that gives defender 50% evade chance. So all I need to do now is to just make sure those cold snaps are active and I can kill Shang-Chi off. Another good thing about Kate Bishop is that her auto evade that gives you a good opportunity to refresh your debuffs. You don't have to wait for the obstinate charge. Now here's another fight that's an example that in which I don't use the node. I try to use a slow champion. So here we are with the Shang-Chi. Now one thing you will notice, something that will really come into play is the obstinate charge. So for what does obstinate charge do? For every 8 seconds, the next well-timed block or parry you try to do to the opponent gives him stun immunity and he's not parried. So you have to learn your re-parry technique that will help you really well here. If not, then you try to do one parry, but remember that is not going to stick, and then you just dash back and you try to parry again. You can see the cooldown on the gray icon with the shield that is currently there under Human Torch. Once that cooldown is over, it means the next parry is going to be stun immune that will not stick. So you have to be careful about that, and you have to play around it. Now the good part about Shang-Chi, he has slow. So I'm going to use the slow to counteract the can't touch this node so he does not evade everything. So the difficult part here in this fight is to do the re-parry, get the obstinate charge, and then put the slow up and then 5-hit combos and a heavy attack. That is what I'm going to do. I don't need to build up power because I can get all the cheese easily. So I'm just going to build up to 20-25 and then I can dash back and just whiff some attacks and get to an SP2 and use it. Now there is another node that helps you here that's called reach within. So whenever you will dash back and hold your block for half a second, you are going to get rooted in your place for 3 seconds. So the way this works is you build up a special attack, you get yourself rooted and you let the AI attack you. As soon as they attack you, you use a special attack to break that root, and that gives you that will give you for 20 seconds true strike that will bypass all the evade. But that is only comes into play when you're using mutant champions that do not have an anti-evade mechanic. In my opinion, just bring in your anti-evade champions and you should be good. So right now I have 25 cheese. What I'm trying to do is to evade him, evade his SP2, and then There we go. Obstinate charge. I'm going to reparry here. And then into a big SP2. 27 charges. There we go. And there goes Human Torch. So if you follow what the path design is, it's going to be an annoying fight. But if you don't, you just bring in anti-evade champions, will be easier. Fight number 3 is going to be Doctor Strange. Now here I am going to use a mutant champion. Now this is what the path was intended to do. Even still, Archangel is an anomaly because the more neurotoxin there is, the defender cannot evade you. But if you notice here that all I'm trying to do is to parry, reparry and get those neurotoxins up on Doctor Strange. Can be annoying with this special too, so you have to be careful about that. Now every time you use a striker with a mutant champion, you are going to get a prowess on you. The prowess will increase your damage, special damage by 200%. So the way it works, you get 3 to 4 prowesses, you build up a special, and in one special you can burst down the opponent. So a strategy like this works really well on champions like Sunspot or champions like Bishop, who have like big specials and they can eat away the defender in one go. But remember, those prowesses are only applicable for one special one, so just build up those prowesses and use one big SP1 and you should be good. So you noticed here, just after the block expired and I did not throw any special. That's okay. After a root, I got that true strike. Now I am able to evade the Doctor Strange quite easily. That's why I can throw my specials without any fear, because I know he will not evade. So something to keep an eye out for. So if you're using mutant champions for the whole path, you can do the whole path with mutant champions. So for that, you will need to bring in mutant champions with relic, and every time you use a striker, you will gain a prowess on your mutant champions that will increase the special attack damage by 200%. And once you have enough of it, you can whiff some attacks in the air and you will get power. Once you have your desired power, SP1 or SP2, dash back, hold your block, let it root you, and then wait for the defender to dash in. And as soon as the defender dash in, throw your special, and with that big damage you can bring the opponent down. But I like to play in a different way. I like to play this more in like a traditional anti-evade champion. So I brought in a Kate Bishop, I brought in a Shang Chi, and I brought in an Archangel who is a mutant champion, but I'm playing it as an anti-evade. So his neurotoxins are going to melt away Doctor Strange and also avoid for me the evade. Next up, we have a very tricky fight when it comes to Elsa Bloodstone, because whenever she evades, she is going to do that revolver hit and she's going to get a 5-hit combo off of you, and she crits so much. So I'm using a Kate Bishop here. I just shadow boxed and built up to my SP1. So what I'm trying to do is like 1.5 bar of power. When she dashes in, I will throw my SP1 again. Well, I missed that out. That was bad. But my own parry mechanic saved me, so let's wait for the SP1. There we go. My whole thing is that I have to keep the cold snap up on her, because that stops her from doing an evade. Because if she evades, she does that revolver evade the special one, and then she goes in for a 5-hit combo, and that really hurts. So what I'm trying to do here is now slowly corner Elsa Bloodstone. Keep throwing my heavy attacks, keep refreshing those cold snaps, and they should do enough damage. Now I did bring in a synergy with America Chavez, so at one point I can apply 3 of those cold snaps on the opponent. So that Kate Bishop is just melting the opponent's way. This fight is not as easy as Kate Bishop is making it to be. So remember that you have to dash back and hold your block, or you'll be rooted, and after a root you will get 20 seconds of true strike. That will help you evade all that. That will help you control all of that evasion. But that is a champion that is used for champions that don't have anti-evade mechanism. Next defender is going to be Silk. Again, I'm trying to bypass the node mechanics here, and I'm using a champion that has built-in evade counter to Silk. Now Silk is a Spider-Verse champion. I'm bringing in Venom, so I don't need to worry about the evade at all. All I need to worry about the obstinate charge, and I'm throwing my special ones. I do get caught and I play really sloppy here, but at the end of it, I get the desired result that I want. I take down Silk quite easily. So again, guys, when you plan this path, if you have a Venom, or if you have a Venom Pool, or if you have a Red Goblin ranked up, you can bring them against Silk, because Silk is a Spider-Verse champion and they will not miss. This path is really annoying when it comes to this. So, as again I'm using an anti-weight champion, I don't really need to play into the mechanics of the path. But if you're using a mutant champion here, you will have to keep hitting in the to Silk, and you will not gain any power, but you will gain Striker. Once you gain a Striker, use 3 or 4 Strikers, get 3 of those prowesses up. That will increase your special attack damage by 200% for each prowess. Once you have 3 to 4 prowesses, then you stay back and you whiff some of your attacks. So with Shadow Boxing node, you will get power. Build up to your desired special attack, SP1 or SP2, and then you dash back and hold your block and get yourself rooted. Once you root yourself, let the opponent dash into you, and if the opponent does dash into you, use that special attack with all of those prowesses that probably should be killed in one. So that is the total design of the path, but I'm just using anti-weight champions to get through this faster. And the final fight is going to be against the Chee'ilth, so let me start right away. This is not an easy fight. Kate Bishop makes it look ridiculously easy. This is not an easy fight at all. Primarily because Chee'ilth has her own cleanse, then there's also obstinate charge, so it's very hard to parry her. And if you parry her, she's going to apply bleeds on you that are really potent, and that's make this fight really annoying to deal with. Now I am using Kate Bishop. I was doing the same thing. I'm building up my cold snap slowly, just using my light attacks to get those power SP1s, and then I'm throwing my SP1s. And that cold snap is really ticking in, and because I have an auto evade mechanic where I stun the opponent, that is also helping me against obstinate charge. Kate Bishop is a crazy good option for this fight, so if you have her, I would highly suggest to bring her in, because she does make this fight super easy. Now if you're gonna use mutant champions, try to use mutant champions against Chee'ilth that are bleed immune, and also they can easily passively stun the opponent. So your bishops will work here. Your Storm Pyramid X, Storm X will be a good option. So champions that can passively stun the opponent will be your best bet here. I think Storm will work really well because all of these bleeds will be converted into prowess, so that will help you out too. Again, not the best fight I'm playing. Playing a little sloppy with Kate Bishop, but in the end I bring Chee'ilth down. So I would suggest, if you have Kate Bishop, bring her. If not, then bring a mutant that can easily passively stun and can play around the bleeds of Chee'ilth. The boss fight is going to be against a Galan. Now this is a regular Galan fight with only 2 differences. One is Galan will go unblockable after a little cooldown, and 2, whenever you will parry Galan, you're gonna get an armor up on yourself with enhanced parry, and that armor up will in turn fuel Galan, his planetary mass. And the third one is whenever you will use a striker, you will steal power from the opponent and take it for yourself. So use that to your advantage. Bring in Mystic champions that have easy access to neutralize or fate seal. As long as Galan doesn't gain buffs, you are good, and you can cycle your specials faster to knock down Galan with a special and reduce his planetary mass. Now my personal option is going to be a Symbiote Supreme. I'm just biased. I like the champion and he melts the opponent really well, especially if the opponents are going to be your cosmic champions. Some of the options are going to be your Wiccans. Your Tigra will work really well here. Doom can work also really well. So there are plenty of options that can work here. I just got clipped by an SP2 and that does a lot of damage to me, but still I am able to bring down Galan at the end of it. So the whole thing here is to block, do not parry, so you don't gain that armor up. And then Mystic champions with Fate Seal or Neutralize will be the best options, and keep throwing your specials to keep knocking him down. so he does not get that planetary mass and that big SP1. And yeah, that's about it, guys. You should be able to get through this path again. And while I close this path, it's not an easy path. Maybe the way I've used the champions makes it look easy, but no, because I have a Kate Bishop, she's ascended, she makes the path super easy. Otherwise, you're gonna have quite a bit of trouble. I would say if you have anti-weight champions, bring them and play to your class advantage. Otherwise, your mutant champions or relic will work, and the way they will work is you have to build up to 3 prowesses using strikers. Once you have that, with your attacks, build up to special 1 or special 2, and then throw that while you're rooted. So I hope that helps. Bye.